bang my head. Oh, ow. Oh, this hinge. Kept doing it on the other side as well. I've put my safety hat on. Ow. Oh, that hurt, that did. Anyway, yeah, welcome to episode 40. So yesterday I finished getting the sill welded in, and I've just put a coat of like weld through primer on and underneath. Today's job is to get the B post repair section welded on. So there's the bit I cut off, the bottom. Well, that's one bit I cut off. I'd already chopped the bottom. And as you can see with that piece, this edge, the forward edge, that's the front of the car, the forward edge is wider than the back. The repair sections aren't like that. They're the same either side. So I'll do what I did on the other side. I've marked it already. You know, I've got it positioned and marked it where I need to cut it. I'll chop it off, and then this edge here I'll pinch and I'll weld a bit back on that end just to make it a bit stronger. So I'll come back when I've done that. So I'll chop that, but nearly. So the side pieces and the middle just needs a bit of grinding to get it to line up properly now. Just a bit too long still. This edge will be okay. It's across there and that side. So that's the next job, is to just grind a bit until it fits with the right gap to weld, and then I'll do that side piece after. Right, so I've extended that piece to the front. You can see. Just extended it, stuck the other bit on, welded it from both sides, ground it flat. Because I've got it on low power. And then next job, mark the holes, drill the holes to plug weld it. Then I'll get it painted both sides with weld through primer. Let that dry, have lunch while it's drying, and then we'll get it welded in by the end of the day. And then the next job is to start unpicking all this and do the C-post in there. Okay, I need to degrease this now and then get it painted. There's all my plug holes. I'm probably in the light, am I? There we are. It's better, isn't it? Line it up. There we are. Yeah. Not bad. Get it painted, weld it on after. There we go, painted. Degreased first. Painted. Well, I've probably been in a good 40 minutes, if not longer, and I can't do this yet. It's still, the paint's not fully dry in there, so might not be able to do that today now. It's absolutely chucking it down, it's damp, it's cold. Take ages, won't it? I did cut my head when I did that, so I need to put something on that. Because the thing is, I can put my bump cap on, but my woolly hat keeps my glasses on. Stop my glasses falling off when I'm doing that. One thing I want to do is just check the height of this door and see if I can get the Discovery in without changing the door. I know it's going to be really tight, but if I let air out of the tyres, air down as they say, I might get it in. Because I need to do the timing belt and the oil pump. I need to change the oil pump. This morning I had it apart, had the fan off, fan cowling off, looked at the oil pump. I bought a new oil pump and it's a 6600 and it's got the letters at the end AD, and AE is the stronger oil pump, because the lug that the timing belt pulley goes on might be the tensioner. It's the tensioner, and it's the tensioner pulley snaps off on the earlier ones. Yeah, so I don't want to use it until I've done that. Because of weather like today, I want to do that in the garage, which is why I want to get this done. To be fair, now I've done that, I can put the wheels on and push it back. I think I'd get it in if I move all that. I think I'd get it in. I need to do some measuring, work out. Right, so Discovery 3 is 4.8, call it 4.9. That to the door, 5 meters. That to the front of the shelves is the length of that. So what's that? That's 4.3. So it means I've got the space of my feet to work in. Well, a little bit longer because it's 4.8 in it. So I've got about that much to work in. I think it'll do it. I think it'll fit. I think it's doable. Because I don't even need to be able to have the door shut, do I? I can have the back end sticking out. Or even put it in backwards and literally be working under the door. At least it'll be inside. I just take the up and over door again. So lowest point on the up and over door is 1.85 meters, which is the front edge as it's open on the drive. Discovery and access mode is 1.85 meters. It's got to be close. So if I let the air down in the tyres, it'll get in, won't it? So it looks like I'll be doing the timing belt and the oil pump and everything in here, which is good, which is better. More space in here as well. I just need to rearrange stuff over there. So like, I mean, all this will move. The squat back thing, that'll move. I'll be able to put that down the side, like here. Just needs rearranging. It'll all push back. I mean, there's tons of room on the side, isn't there? You know? And I'm going to get rid of, I've got an old lawnmower under here which is going to go, and then I've got a tumble dryer there which I'm going to get rid of, which is more space here. Then I can put stuff here. Right, how's that doing? Is that dry yet? Not quite. Not quite. That's still drying. While that's drying, I've been unpicking these spot welds up the wheel arch. There's a bit rusted there that's connected, and then I'll cut here, and then I'll unpick that after. So do it in like 2 pieces. That's what I did on the other side. It just makes it easier, because then you've got access to get in here with a grinder, you know, cutting disc, and because it's spliced up there, the lip on the wheel arch goes up underneath that little C section there, C post section. So I'm going to cut, I'll get the bulk bit off, and then we'll work on that bit. Let's do that. There we go, so I just took it off in a few pieces. It's the easiest way. So just like cut in, cut in, cut in, cut in, cut down there, pull all that off, and then you can get at that bit easier, and just makes it easier to clean everything up. Yeah, this is all a bit rusty here, so I might have to patch that bit. We'll see. We'll sort it. So most of these I'm going to plug weld from the inside. This side I'm going to plug weld from the outside once you get below the heel board here, because it's really difficult to get torch in, the MIG torch from the inside. So you do the other ones from this side, it just makes it easier. So yeah, we've just got to work on this bit next. So I've cleaned the face of all that up, got that little bit off there as well, just with the finger file, you know, the needle file. I'm going to have to repair the bottom of the C-pillar all the way around like I did on the other side. So next job is to unpick under here. So I've drilled out these two spot welds that hold the back of it to this bit of the wheel arch. I've just got to unpick, because there might be some welds around there that I've just got to grind off, like there's a blob there. So I need to get the wire brush on it, and then this is where I've welded that other bit but not painted it properly yet. So it only de-rusted under here properly, and then I'll paint all this properly. I don't think we're going to go through, I think we're okay. Just got to unpick this bit, you see. So I don't think I'll do that today though, do that another day. I'm going to pack in now. So that's enough today. I'll see you next weekend probably. Might see you Friday. Yeah, I need to go do some other stuff really. So see you Friday. Still cold. So good morning. It's Friday the 12th of December. It's about 8:30. 20 to 9. I was about right, about 8:30. So what I didn't say previously at the weekend when I was doing all this is I've welded the B-pillar in on the inside. So can you see? I can't see there. So I know the light's bad. Let's just do this because I turned off my main light. It's still not light. There we are. So yeah, I welded it in on the inside. So around the bit plug welds where the spot welds were. There you go, around there. That's where the seatbelt wheel fits and attaches in that screw hole, and then there's a beader weld across the bottom from the inside of the B-pillar on this side, because I couldn't get the torch in up there like I did on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to de-rust all this, get all this ready, then I can get the rust eater stuff on this, you know, the FE123, that can be curing while I'm welding that in, because that bit up there now will have dried properly. It's all flipping weak. So get the angle grinder out, get the wire brush out, get all this cleaned up. I've just got to take these clips off here to do that. So I'll get on with that and get that done. Right, I've got that nearly prepared, just needs a little bit more. So you can see under here I've just taken off where all that bit was. So there's some rust to retreat there. I've unpicked around the bottom of here, got all the rust off. I still need to do these sections in the C-pillar, but I'll do that later. I've made a slot in there, if I just move the light, you see? Right, so hopefully you can see that now. So we've made a slot in the base of the... Oops, that's that repair panel. Made a slot in there, but I need to go up a bit more yet. Won't quite go in. I've wire brushed that. We've got another hole just there that I need to repair, and I need to put a little repair in here on that lip. So I need to clean up the inside because this bottom piece here is gone. So probably do that before I put this piece on, but then I've ground this because this was sticking out too much. But you can see that with the repair panel now, it goes, what's that there? That lip goes in there, you see, but it needs to go up higher yet because you can see it's not quite in line. And then the bottom bit, all down there, you see. So it just needs a bit more cut just there, and then I can get this treated down and leave it till later and then get that bit welded in. So that's about it now. Space to weld, that's about right just there. We'll push up just a little bit more there. Right, so that's okay. I can now get some rust treat on later I'll repair that bit. I'll get this bit welded on next. There we go, so I've got all the 123 FE 123 on all that. I've prepared this, I've just paint strip wheel around there, and then where's my other piece? Just taken off the weld through primer on this piece. Ready to start welding that on now, but I'm going to go and have a coffee before I do that. Then obviously I've just got to, I'll do these bits first, I'll tack it, and then I'll clean up the paint off the outer face of the sill before I do those plugs. So might take me an hour to do that, maybe half an hour, and then I want to start doing that air post. Alright, let's go and have a coffee. So we're in the process, just drinking my coffee. Yeah, did some tacks, bashed it a bit. Just got the front, just put my coffee down. Just got that front face to do. Then I'll do the plugs, and then I'll just do these little bits, because these little bits need bashing a bit, but at the moment it still moves just a touch. Well, the B post doesn't, but these little lips do. That's that all plug welded, seam welded along the top, seam welded down the ends, not seam welded on the bottom, that's just lipped over, and then those two plug welded back, just a tack there. So next job is to just grind that back, and then coat of undercoat, you know, weld through primer. Then that's still going off, so then I'll start, this is just loose, I was just starting to look at that, start tackling that air post next, so that the air post is attached. Good progress. So that's it, ground back, bit of sealer, bit of paint, or bit of paint, bit of seam sealer, and that'll be fine. I mean, it's not absolutely perfect, like there's a tiny little bit there, I can probably grind that a bit more. I will, I'll just get the die grinder on that and just do that a little bit more there, otherwise that'll be absolutely fine. Sweep up. Right, now I've just put some paint on that B post onto this inner face of the air post first, bit like I did on the other side. I'm going to drill out some spot welds along this face. That's already gone there, but I'll drill them out from the other side as well. And then I don't want to go up too far, you can't see yet, but it's all crusty on the inside as well, so I might have to take this bottom hinge off. Don't want to. I'm just getting flakes of rust out the inside. But I need this bit, this inner face, welded first before I put the repair section on for the bottom. Need to get the wire brush on it, I think. And then again, like that other side, what I'll do is when I take the dash out and I do the bulkhead side panels, that's when I'll finish it off further up and, you know, like treat all this, because these brackets will have to come out, and then I'll have to sort all the wiring as well, because all the terminals over here are as crusty as anything. Dilemmas. Right, let's figure out what I'm going to do. It's a bracket. So again, I think I'll just use as much as this as I can. It's upside down. Up that leading face for now. Stitch that in, weld that in. You know, cut up there and across. Weld that in, and then all that other piece I'll do when I do the bulkhead side panel. But yeah, first of all I need this inner plate welded on so that the inside is firm, because I can move it a bit at the moment. Right, let's get drilling. There might be some marks on the front of the camera. I forgot to move it when I was grinding and cutting. So I've got that inside off there, and yeah, hang on, I'm in the light. There we are. So you can see the inside of here is a lot worse than the inside of the other side. It's 3 layers. So there's the outer layer, there's a reinforcing layer, and then there's the inner layer to the air post. It's quite bad, isn't it? So that's the piece I've got off. So again, I'll do what I did on the other side. I'll keep this bit and then I'll replace all the rest. I'll just keep that shaped lip. Before I put this bit on, I'll get all the other pieces cut and prepared. So that's come off there. I've just had to fold back the bottom of the side panel to get at it, and then when I put this back I'll tack the top so that when I do the side panel I can repair that upper bit when I've got all the dash out. It's going to be a lot of work. That's really bad. Do I take the hinge off? Don't know. Don't know. Let's have a look at this side. Not sure. You see my repair panel will go. Can you see it? Yeah. My repair panel will go up underneath the hinge. Just. So I might put the joint underneath the hinge. Then again I might not. Problem is it's spot welded there. There's a spot weld there. That's where I was going to cut. That's the inner reinforcing piece. And what's that up there? It's just rust falling off from the top. It is a mess. We're getting there though. We're getting there. So once I've got the sill done, I think I'm over halfway. I'm probably about 2/3 of the way on the welding. Right, time to pack in. Morning, Saturday. It's 13th today, 13th of December, 11:15 AM. Just been doing a little bit. So I've just chopped off that little piece. Where's it gone? Oh, it's down here. I wire brushed in here, cleaned that up. I'll just weld that hole up probably. And then I've just cut this little piece off there. I'm going to make a little section for there. I'll make a section for that, weld those in. Where's my light? Here. I don't know whether I'd shown you that before. Unpick the inside. I'm going to wire brush that and get that rust treated next. And then out here, oops, down, I have taken off the hinge. Surprisingly, no paint underneath the hinge, and most of it hasn't rusted. I am shocked. So I've marked round, but it's actually fairly obvious where it goes anyway. And then I've unpicked round here. I've got my panel cut, ready for the outside bit there. So that's ready to go on. I've just sectioned it like that. That won't need splitting this side, I don't think, although I might do slightly just to expand it slightly. Yeah, it just needs expanding ever so slightly at the top. It's not far off. Get it square, you see it's about 1 millimetre too narrow. And then I've cut out that little bit. I've cut out this little bit in here. I'll fill that section in as well, and then I'll wire brush and lustrate obviously I've got to do in there. So next job, start making some sections up. I need about 3 or 4 for this end, 2 for that end. C-post last. Right, so I've been cutting some sections. I've cut all this piece up. That's the inner face. I've cut off the little tab. I'll reuse that. That's the inner piece that I'm going to keep, the lip, the forward lip. And then I've started to make a piece. But of course it's not flat, is it? It's all profiled. So again, like the other side, I've got to figure out how I then blend all that together to make it fit. This is the inner face. This is the bit that goes on the inside of here. Hang on. Duck, like that. But you see, we're probably a centimetre off. So I need to fold and probably cut and weld and get that inner piece right first before I then put that outer piece on. But we've got quite a gap to fill in. So I might need a couple of them to pack this out, because if I try and balance you, I'm up and you can see you're on my knee. So when I put that on and then put that on, we've got a step still a significant step. So it's probably a good 5mm. So I've got to sort that. That needs to come out like that. Nuisance, eh? What I might do is just weld this on here first and then bang the edges over. That's probably what I'll do. You know, just fold. Forward edge doesn't matter. It's this back face to fit in with the door seal. So that's probably all I'll do, is weld that on there first. Well, weld the inner piece on. Get that right. Start to weld this on. Do this lip first. Bash that over to be able to weld that on there. That's what I'll do. But before I get to that, I've got to figure out what I do with this and how I make this piece. So that's 1.5, that is. This isn't 1.5. So yeah, of course, most of that's flat. This is not. So that goes in there, you see. Leaks, so I've got to figure it out. I was going to cut that bit off the bottom because it's all crusty, which is why I've left that, and that's why I've roughly marked there to cut out to be able to fold and join. Yeah, one thing at once, I think. Of course, because I've now cut this, I can't see where it goes on the inside. That was like that, you see. Yeah, right, anyway. No more today now, because I need to go in and work Christmas party this afternoon, so I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, Sunday morning now, 14th of December, 20 past 10 AM. I've just been cutting the rust out of the C-pillar so that I can get my little repair pieces made up. Probably need to square that one up a little bit more if I can. So yeah, I've got a little piece made up for here. So that can be welded on later. Wire brushed in there. And then next thing to do is to just get the rust treat on. And then I'll come back on to making that inner face while the rust treat's working. So this is the rust treat stuff I use. It's from rust.co.uk, otherwise known as Rust Buster. Fe123 molecular rust converter. You basically just basically wire brush, paint it on, leave it to cure, goes black, and that's it. Paint over it then once it's gone. Don't put it on too thick. And you don't need a lot either, that'll be plenty for this. Just push it on. And if you're going to do that, use old paint tin lids, you know, spray paint lids like these. Pro tip, amateur tip, make sure you've not got a hole in it from weld splatter, because it just runs out the bottom, doesn't it? See, so just a coat of that on there, and out here, and across there, bit more up there, and up here into the bottom of the C-post, bit more down there as well. Leave that secure. So I'm just starting to make this new inner piece up. I'm going to remake this bottom piece, but I'm going to do it out of 1.2 rather than 1.5, because 1.5 is really difficult to bend. I'm just going to tack that, and then we'll take the clamps off and we'll just try it back in. Pretty much about right, is that? Just get a couple of tacks on. That's not bad, is it? It's a start of it. Let's get the rest of it finished, and then I've got a gap down there, you see. I'll have to bend and sort, because that's bigger than I want, is that gap. You see? Just want to get our top bit sorted first, and then I can put a bend in the bottom bit somehow. Right, now to fill that little bit in there, make a new piece for that. So it's coming together. Just got to now grind that bit there, that return lip, so that then when I put this final piece in that the seal will fit on, it joins up with this part, because obviously there won't be a step at the bottom. So basically now I'm just replacing that little bit in there. So it'll be like that. So next I just need to cut a piece like that, and then we can shape and tack that on. So I've got loads of tacks on. Weld it up later. Right, let's get this sorted. Right, one inside repair panel welded up. Just got to finish off a little bit more in that groove. I'll get the die grinder in there, a couple of little bits in there to just finish off. Right, it's not quite going up. Can you see those spot weld holes aren't lining up properly? So that's probably the new piece on the inside. But can you see it springs away? So I need to bend it the other way. Let's get the light on. Yeah. Need to get a bend on it. And then just adjust that top edge on that left hand corner there. And then that's not bad. There we go. Got it lined up now so it fits at the bottom, fits at the top on there, fits on this edge as well. I just bent it ever so slightly when actually now it looks straight. So that's good. Right, next job, just got to do that little bit of grinding. Put the where's it gone? The lug on. I don't know where it is. That bit. Transfer that across. Paint it. There we go, so I've sort of cleaned that off a bit. Now I've got to find where it goes. I've got a vertical measurement, but I forgot to take a front to back measurement. I can work it out from the trim piece. I've just got to find the trim pieces. That's it, that's that little tab back on. I found the trim piece. I've put them away again now. Tried that in, punched, centre punched through, drilled, welded through from the inside. From that side, drilled a 6mm hole, just welded it from the other side. So next that I'll get a lick of paint. I probably need to put some more holes in. Need to figure out where my holes need to be for welding everything back together before I do that. Okay, so degreased, coat weld through primer on the inside of the air post outer bottom repair section. Coat weld through primer on both sides of that. That's the interface panel repair section that I've made up. And then we've done weld through primer on the inside of the air post there. Not on the outside because I don't need that. And then up here and up inside the C post and down inside the wheel arch as well. So basically that's ready now, once that all dried, to start welding. So I'm going to leave it at that now for this episode. That's the end of episode whatever it is, I've forgotten. Next weekend I'll be able to weld all these final bits in. What I will have to do is try the outer wing on to make sure that the holes in the repair section, those bits that the outer wing goes to, is located in the correct place fore and aft for the outer wing. So yeah, that'll probably be next weekend. I should get all that done next weekend now, and then get the final bits done for this outer sill. For this left hand sill. So almost there, almost. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the new subscribers. See you in the next one.